Hey everybody, welcome to Refuel. It's Pastor Ray. One of my favorite writers is a guy named Robert Fulghum, and he's written books with great titles like this. All I Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, which unfortunately I read after spending $50,000 on graduate school. Now, in that book, he makes a really interesting point. He says, find a group of little kids, like kindergartners, 5 years old, and ask them, how many of you can sing? What happens? Every hand goes up. And then he goes, well, what if you don't know the words? We'll make them up. I mean, he goes, find that group of kindergartners, 5 years old, and go, how many of you can draw? Wham! Every hand goes up. How many of you can play this game? Every hand goes up. And then he says, they have this passion and zest for living that God put in the heart of every single kid. And then he says this, find that same group of 5-year-olds when they're 25, and then ask them the same question, how many of you can sing? Nope. And he goes, and then he asks a very perceptive question. He just goes, what happens in America between kindergarten and adulthood to stomp out this God-given zest and passion for living that is in the heart of every single kid that God ever created? I just want to ask one question, and it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's Refuel devotionals, so don't miss them, okay? And the question I want to ask you is this, okay? Do you need to get your hopes back up? Do you need to get your joy back? Has it been a long time since you've actually just felt something, been fired up about something, been really joyful, or have you completely, like almost all adults, lost your sense of wonder? And if you have, how do you get it back? Well, you know what's great about the Bible? All you have to do is go to the first page in the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, and it starts with these words, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Now, I'm just going to unpack Genesis 1 for the next 3 days because I actually believe this. You see the incredible life getting created in Genesis 1, and there are 3 things out of Genesis that if you get them, will create life in you, okay? And the first one is this. Genesis teaches you how to view God, how to view other people, how to view life, and how to view yourself. I actually believe this. If you get your theology right from Genesis chapter 1, you will get your view of everything else right. And so I'm going to basically say this. Genesis teaches you how to view 3 things, okay? And here they are. Okay, I'm going to give you the first one today, the second 2 the next couple of days. And the first one is this. It says this. Genesis starts with these words. So God created. Okay, you can say it out loud with me. So God created. You're going, what is God doing? He is creating things. Okay, and every time he creates something, he goes, wow, that's good. I actually believe this. If you're on this planet living to create things, then you have purpose. As a matter of fact, on the back notes of this weekend's message service, we basically went this. Without creating things, life loses passion, life loses purpose, and life loses significance. Why would you want to live that kind of life? No wonder there's no passion. But the second you go, God was creating, He put me here with one life, and you just start asking the question, what am I going to create with the one life I get to live? What am I going to create this week? What am I going to create? And one of the things that does to a church is it fills, when a church asks that question, okay, it fills the church with passion, okay? For example, John, come on over here, okay? We're bringing in a Refuel guest, everybody. This is John Valinsky.
Hey, good to
and Santa Rosa was wrecked by fires like anything we've ever seen in California. So we actually went, could our church work with our church in Santa Rosa to create a better future for tens of thousands of really hurting people, okay? And so what we did was we got it in front of church and we said, we're not keeping a dime of this money. We're going to take a second offering. And John's been our point person out there. John, first of all, what was the second offering?
We received $464,000 in a second offering.
That's awesome.
It's pretty amazing. And then our Thrive churches contributed another $127,000. So we're right at almost $600,000.
And we're not keeping a dime of that. It all has gone out there. So the first thing we did was the church we have out there did not burn. So it could become a hub for everybody needing help in the whole community, okay? And so what happened is this. We ended up bringing semi-trucks of supplies in.
That's right. So far, we've had 8 semi-trucks of supplies, and we have churches and community groups coming in and picking those supplies up. Convoy of Hope, Salvation Army, Red Cross, and again, about 30 churches coming to get supplies. We fill the warehouse and it empties. We fill it, it empties. It's been amazing to see.
That's right. And then what happened is this. The cool thing is schools started phoning the church for help. This one school, basically, they couldn't meet there anymore.
That's right. Yeah, the superintendent of the school there, it's the Reebley Elementary School. The fire surrounded the entire school, burnt all the homes in the area. In fact, 200 of the faculty, teachers, and the students had lost their homes. So they said, hey, could you help us move our school to other buildings? And so they called us, and so we gathered about 30 people here at Granite Bay on Saturday morning a week ago, and we drove over there and we helped move, and it was amazing because we were able to move the entire school, all the desks, file cabinets, all the books, in 2 hours. They were blown away.
Isn't that awesome? And we actually have, matter of fact, I think we have a video clip. This is the superintendent. Listen to what he says at the end. Check this out.
Hey Bayside, it's John Valinsky. I'm in Santa Rosa today, and I have Ron and Suzanne with me, and we have a pretty cool story. We've got folks serving all day today in Santa Rosa, and so Ron, why don't you introduce yourself and talk about what's going on?
So my name is Ronald Calloway. I'm the superintendent of the Mark West School District, and as you may know, the Tubbs fire came through our area. We have a school that is actually standing. It's like an oasis, but it's in the middle of devastation, and we cannot repopulate it. So today, we moved an entire school to 2 other campuses in our district. Thanks to Bayside, wonderful, wonderful church, we were able to move an entire school in 2 hours.
That's amazing.
It's just an amazing, incredible thank you to God for what you have delivered to us.
Then we found out kids are hurting because 1,000 homes within 10 minutes of our church there were gone, burned down, which meant the kids are like, we got nowhere to trick or treat. So we went, the church can help with this one. So last Saturday night, you were there.
Yeah, in fact, they usually have about 2,500 people. This is something they do every year, their Fall Fun Fest. We said, let's blow it up. So we brought in more inflatables. We brought in more carnival rides. We opened up the property. We closed all the parking, had it off-site parking come in. They had 10,000 people come out for it. It was amazing.
Yeah, just the entire community invaded the church, which is what it ought to be. And to wrap this section up, I'll be back tomorrow and the next day with this whole theme, then God created, okay? I love this story. When Abraham Lincoln was president, I went to church all the time, a friend of his says, hey, our church has a new pastor and he's a great preacher. You got to come to church with me and hear this guy's amazing. So Lincoln goes with this guy. They're riding in the buggy on the way home, and the guy says to Lincoln, what did you think? And Lincoln said, it was okay. And he said, but he's a great speaker. And Lincoln said, yeah, he's a great speaker. And he goes, but you wouldn't like him? He said, no, I wouldn't go back. He said, why? He said, because the pastor didn't challenge me to do anything great for God. I just want to challenge you today. God created. The Bible is like a couple verses over when it says God is creating. He has put you here so we can create some amazing things for Him. If you live that, you'll have a wow, passion, purpose, significant life. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day.